This is Shankar, and today I'm going to analyze the horoscope of Donald Trump. He's going to be the president of US. He's already elected and will be taking oath. The details I've taken is 14th June 1946 as his date of birth, 10:54, Queens, New York, USA. That is what I have from the website and other places. Now, assuming this is right and there is a variance in the date of birth, etc., even then his horoscope would be this. Now, if I go as per my Nadi principles, let's analyze his horoscope, which of course would be one of the most important things in his horoscope is that Mars is in Lagna. And that is the first house. I always take the house into consideration. And in the first house, you have, the Mars is most powerfully placed. It's also the exalted sign of Sun. So it's a house of a person who is a very good executor, believes in execution, commander-in-chief kind of a quality, with a lot of ego because Sun has its own role to play. Sun and Mars together makes a person think big and execute things properly. So that is what this says. She has Jupiter in the second house, and in my last video I've talked about second house. Jupiter in the second house retrograde is an important thing because Jupiter is a very important planet, and being in the second house, it will give him family, finance, fortune, etc. Jupiter retrograde planets have the characteristic of giving sudden results, and which he has had sudden ups and downs in areas of family, finance, and fortune would be there because Jupiter is retrograde. But Jupiter being in the second house itself is good, more or less, will make him bounce back. Most important thing is the other house of Jupiter is Gemini, which has Mercury in its own house. So whenever Jupiter is with Mercury, it gives you intellect with wisdom. So he has the power to analyze things and the wisdom to execute them. He has a moon with Ketu, that is the north node. Now, as looking at his personality outwardly, one would say that he is not a person who analyzes things very deeply. That's what I've read. But moon with Ketu gives a habit of going deep into things, cutting things, not reacting fast or acting fast, which is what is the outer demeanor, which could be due to other reasons which I'll explain later. But moon with Ketu would give him a personality where he would dissect things, go deep into things before taking any decision. It's in the fourth house, so fourth house is also the house of the throne. So as far as his dealings with the government and advantages from dealings with the government, it shows that he would go very deep into things, details, cut things, analyze things, and analyze them very closely because there's a very close conjunction between Moon and Ketu. So whenever this happens, Moon and Ketu is a person of very person who will act only after a lot of thought and analysis. So this is what it is. Opposite moon, he has sun. Sun is in Taurus, a very good sign, a fixed sign, which is very clear in what he has to do. Once decides a thing, especially with respect to his prestige, he will not go back on it. I mean, it's a sign where a person is very clear on his views and on his decisions. So as far as prestige is concerned, his own self is concerned, his whole self-esteem is concerned, he would be clear on what he has to do to maintain it. And a person of rigidity, a person of fixed views, it has Rahu with him, Sun and Rahu are again in close conjunction, which gives huge ambition. It will make a person very, very ambitious. Sun and Rahu makes a person very ambitious. Then the most important combination and the most critical combination he has is Saturn and Venus. Saturn and Venus is one combination which has to be there and is always there. And I mean, it's not has to be there or is all, but it is a combination in the horoscopes of millionaires, billionaires, people who make a mark for themselves. Because Venus and Saturn, as we know, Saturn is the planet of huge thinking, and Venus is a planet which knows how to execute. It knows all the negativities, positivities, pros, cons, ways and methods. And Saturn is a planet which, which is thinks large, is a big planner, a person who's got lofty ideas, and Venus helps executing it. Saturn and Venus is a very, very important, very, very important combination. And I would like to stress here, even as for the students of astrology, that Saturn and Venus, be it anywhere, it elevates the horoscope by tenfolds. So he has Saturn and Venus together, and that too in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is the sign of people, masses. So, dealing with masses. So that is an important aspect of his planet. Is also a very important planet for business and other issues. Saturn and Venus is the most important combination he has. And then he has Sun and Rahu, which is about ambition. Moon and Ketu is about thinking deep into matters. Mars is execution. And Jupiter here is about family, finance, fortune. Being retrograde, it will give sudden reversals, but bounce it back, because at the end of the day, Jupiter is guided by Mercury. Whenever Jupiter gets energized, Mercury also gets energized. So you have wisdom and intellect together. When you have wisdom, which is Jupiter, intellect is Mercury. And these are related with the 2nd and 11th house, which of course gives a lot of finance and the power to have finance. Now, let us analyze. I mean, this anybody could analyze, because this is a horoscope of Donald Trump, and it has to be a good horoscope for what he is and where he is. But let us analyze what is there in the future, 2024 till about 27. Mid 27, he would be running the dasha of Jupiter, Venus. Jupiter, Venus also in the Navamsh chart is. Jupiter is the house of Leo, which is his Lagna, and Venus is in the house of Venus is Vargottam. I mean, it's in the same house with Saturn in Navamsha also. So this becomes very important. Jupiter, Venus would be a period where he would focus on issues of second house. When it also comes to the nation, the issues of second house would be finances, the look. I mean, how does the country look to others? That is very important. I mean, that would be a most important thing here. Here, when Jupiter is in second house, is how do I make myself become bigger, greater, and look more wise, more diplomatic, more amenable to people around, to the nations around. That would be his first priority, a very important priority. Also would be, the priority would be of finance, how to improve the finance of the country and the fortunes of the country. That would be the key thing which would drive, which would be the driving factors till 2027. Since it is in the house of Virgo, it would be more towards for me, what I can do for my country. It will not be towards what I can do for other countries, other nations. That could be there as a matter of diplomacy, etc. But the prime importance is, what do I get for myself? What do I get for my nation? What do I get for myself in whatever way? Because retrograde planets have this impact of, going a little out, stepping a little forward in getting things for themselves. So it would be making your country shine, and also how do I get more finances for my country. That would be the most important thing, and that is corroborated with Venus being with Saturn. And Venus being with Saturn will show Saturn is a planet which is like a snake, and Venus is supposed to have lended its eyes to Saturn. Now, Venus is a very intelligent planet in our Vedic system. Venus is a planet which knows how to get the finance, how to do international relationship, how to juggle with three balls together, how to make the country or the nation more acceptable internationally. These are things which Venus wants, how the glamour quotient to increase. And that is implemented by Saturn. Saturn is the planet which, again, is the planet which thinks big, thinks far, thinks lofty. And it is also in the house of Cancer. It is the house of Moon, which is here with Ketu. So, and this leads to a situation where they would take actions step by step. There would be no action taken ad hoc basis. Net, what I would says the whole issues. The major issue would be finance. The second major issue would be how do I project myself internationally? The third, the most important factor would be, what should I get for myself? Me is important. How do I get things for myself? And to do that, it would be in a method by which it will not be like a sudden method, sudden actions, sudden reactions. It would be slow and steady in a planned out phase, in a phase where you would get the masses with you, because for the country, the masses, which I mean is of the nation, the masses of the nation, you get them along with you, and then take actions, lofty actions, which would be implemented and executed by a lot of thought process. So this is what I would say would be the major things which would be done between Jupiter, Venus. It also crosses Mars, so importance again would be also to Mr. Trump increasing his own prestige, his own name, and also Mars also has to do with the 8th house. So his own name, not only within his country but also internationally. Doing that, it would be the way I have told you, that would be executed in that particular fashion. So that would be what would be happening in Jupiter, Venus. However, then after 27, that is mid of 27, the focus would be more towards kind of power, prestige, very big actions which would be related to himself, but which will be done by himself for the nation. And the focus after 2027, May 2027, May 2027. The focus after May 2027, that is 3 years, 2.5, 3 years down the line, would be towards the actual big steps, the huge, large actions would be taken to enhance his own prestige as well as the prestige of the nation, and he will be able to build a big huge, will be able to get a lot of finances, a lot of international money, a lot of export import by that time. and then the focus would be how to, take very large steps to consolidate what has been done till mid 27. So this is what is my analysis on the horoscope of Donald Trump, on what he would do in terms, and what he does would be for his country. So that is my analysis and my view of seeing Donald Trump's horoscope in a way which would be broadly the pattern which would come out. This is the pattern I see, and with this I end my video. And for any query, you can write to me at my WhatsApp at 9818733000. Astrology is not a profession for me. It's a research, religion, and a hobby for me. However, I do consultations and queries, so you can write to me again. I repeat at 9818733000. You have my site, shankerstudy.com. Anything which comes to me from the science is used for charity. It is used for good purpose. And I also request you to please like the video and also subscribe to the channel. I want to make it 1 lakh. That is my target for myself. So please help me in doing that. It's just that I wanted that like figure of 1 lakh. That's about it. And for anything else, again, I repeat, 9818733000. You can write there, and I will try to get back to you. Thanks. Bye for now.